Today's book is The Complete Idiot's Guide to Positive Dog Training. Can you say that? Idiot? Would you like to be an idiot with me? Okay, here it is. Quit Biting from the Positive Dog Trainer's book. Positive Dog Training. Okay, quit biting. If your dog bites you, use the calming signals you learnt in chapter 7 and 8. Turn sideways, yawn, move slowly away, or sit or lie down. So you have the dog attacking you on your arm, you turn sideways and go, I might lay down now, like this. So that's what they do when the dog's biting you. You turn sideways, yawn and lay down. So there's the first bit of advice. Oh, and do it if possible without being further mauled. So you've got to hope that the dog has a good high quality bite on your arm, and when you lay down he doesn't transfer to your face. So that's point number one. Okay, watch for any patterns of when the biting or mouthing behaviour starts. It's sort of like watching for the patterns of the dog before he chews up your sofa. So you can look at the dog licking his balls and go, I think he's just about to chew that sofa up. Okay, is it a certain time of day? Are you ignoring the dog? Boy, so the dog attacks you because you're ignoring him. I thought that was a solution for all positive dog training. Hey? Okay, are you ignoring the dog, or are you over-exciting the dog with too rough play? So they're saying the dog, get him overexcited, he'll bite you. You ignore the dog, he'll bite you. Is the dog under-exercised? Under-exercised. So you've got a fat dog and he bites you because he's under-exercised. Overfed. Giving him some extra food and he goes, I don't like that, and he bites you. Or bored. Well, that sounds legitimate. Dog gets bored, just walks into the office and just bites you on the leg. So anyway, they're the reasons why a dog bites you. If he bites you at a certain time of the day, or when you are too busy to pay attention to him, you have two options. I can't wait for this one. You can start engaging him in play before he starts. So before he starts to attack you, you play a game with him. Okay, you can completely walk away and ignore him. So it's just like the neighbour's dog chews him up, just ignore him or just walk away. So this time here, he starts getting a bit too rough, so you just ignore him and walk away. Put a barrier between you if necessary. So if he starts to aggress and attack you, just pick up the kitchen chair and just hold it in front of him like a lion, okay? Or go into another room and shut the door. So if the dog's on the way to attack you, you lock yourself in a room and you get away from him. You must be silent, however. So you've got to be very, very quiet. So, and you can't be silent when you're in pain. Well, that's probably one thing I agree with in here. So it should be a good incentive for you to watch your dog and stop the biting behaviour before it starts. You may be stressing your dog by playing too rough with him. Of course, it's my fault. It is always my fault and not the dog's fault. It's my fault. I'm stressing him out. Dog bites me. Problem solved. You get rougher and he doesn't know how to get you to stop. So he bites you. So you play a game with the dog and he's stressing out, and so he just says, no, I don't like that, and he bites me. Okay, fair enough, as every pet should do. Just, I don't like that, bite. Okay, great. Should you be angry? Not. You're the one who pushed him too far. So see, it is your fault. It is not the dog's fault. He bites you so many different ways and for so many different reasons, but it is your fault. If this happens to you, you have some choices. So here we go, we're going to learn how to fix this. Stop roughhousing the dog and use toys instead. Or if you insist on playing with him with your not puncher resistant arms and hands, stop the play before your dog gets too aroused or stressed. Then pet him lightly and gently to calm him down. Is biting the kids. I can't really into that. Biting the children. So your dog attacks your kids. So what do? Dog's already bitten you a few times, but now the dog's going to bite your children. So does your dog chase and bite the kids who are running? Then desensitize your dog to running kids and teach the dog to ignore them. So we'll probably just send the dog out there and get the kids bit a few times, and eventually we should be able to condition the dog to ignore the kids and not run out and bite them. Okay, so that's the first bit of advice. Or teach your kids to play the rev up and cool down game. So you've got to rev the dog up and cool him down. I don't know how many times they're going to get chewed up in that game. Or use better judgment and don't let the dog be around the kids when they're acting like screaming banshees. A banshee is a female spirit in Irish folklore who heralds the death of a family member, usually by wailing and shrieking. So it's obvious by this that the dog's already killed the little brother and the other kids are screaming. Right, so we'll continue on. Perhaps the dog bites your kids for inappropriate petting. Okay, so they pat the dog the wrong way and the dog bites them on the head or the neck area. Okay, so teach them to pat the dog where he doesn't feel threatened. So basically the dog bites the children when they pat him on the head. So now you're telling the children to go up to the dog and pat him on the bum, and hopefully the dog won't bite them then. But that's all right, they're expendable. You've probably got a few kids and use them as guinea pigs anyway. Okay, and teach the dog to accept inappropriate petting. If you have a younger toddling, so now they're going to the babies around, teach your dog to accept pinching and hair pulling. Pinching and hair pulling. So, okay, so what you got to do, you got to pinch the dog, click and treat. And I think the click, they're probably talking about a clicker. So you got to pinch the dog, click and treat for no reaction. But if the dog does react, well, it's another thing. Then pull the dog's hair, click and treat for no reaction. So basically they're telling you to pinch and pull the dog's hair in a positive dog training book. So do we get the kids to do that as well? No, let's see. Don't start out by yanking the dog off his feet. Start out lightly and gradually build to harder pinches, although it's not so hard to bruise him. So that's it, in a nutshell, how to get your dog to stop biting you in the Positive Dog Training book, which is this one here, and it's another little gem, and basically what it is. So in summary, the dog bites you because he's bored, overexcited, ignored, overfed, under-exercised, or at a certain time of day that only the dog knows. And when he chews you or your kids up, it is all your fault. So you and your family will have to get bit several times, lock yourself in a room, you put the children in danger by pinching the dog and pulling the dog's hair and patting the dog on the head to also get bit again. I just can't believe this idiotic, stupid, ridiculous, moronic advice. But this is instructions on how to get your dog to stop biting you from The Idiot's Guide to Positive Dog Training. So this is a positive solution to resource guarding. The positive solution is to do the following. I'll just read this out and I'll go through it all. Reinforce the more dominant dog by ignoring the subordinate dog. Next, you can click and treat the dominant dog for attention while the subordinate dog is being a pest. Or you can click and toss treats at the dominant dog while you give petting to the subordinate dog. Reinforce the more dominant dog for allowing the subordinate dog to get attention. Reinforce any and all pro-social behaviours such as gentle tail wagging, playing, play bows and mutual grooming. Feed the subordinate dog first, so that the dominant dog learns a little patience. If you reinforce a dominant dog for being dominant, then what will happen? He'll become completely overbearing and out of control. Got that? Good? Okay, right. Now, how to fix a problem? Here it is. Change, change, change. Change everything. Switch blankets, crates, positions, food bowls, anything that your dog normally uses. Oh, the old switch blankets and crates trick, eh? It's imperative that you don't allow territory to establish and protected through your predictability. Reinforce any calming signals that you see because these are what stop squabbles from happening. The last step, this one's important. To avoid having one of your dogs become possessive of you, this is what I was saying before, learn to position yourself into a triangle with you as the tip on it and the dog at the base of it. So you've got the two dogs down there and you're the tip and you are now a triangle. Many dogs don't want to share, but it's important they learn to do this for everyone's sake. That is why I'm reading this chapter, Positive Solutions for Resource Guarding, because the dog doesn't bloody share. This takes a bit of manoeuvring on your part. No shit, Einstein. Whenever I get a new dog, for at least a month, I make sure I can position myself so that no one is guarding me. So great, not only when you do the heel, you've got to convince a dog that you're not a tree stump, but when you do the jumping up, you've got to convince a dog that you are a tree stump, and then you've got to convince a dog that you're not a piece of furniture, but you've also got to convince a dog that you're a sofa, and now we've got to be a triangle for 1 month. So that's what happens. So that's the entire section on the positive dog training and how to stop resource guarding. And basically, in summary, you throw treats at the dog. You throw treats at the dog when the other dog's carrying on like a wanker. You throw treats at the dog when he's ignoring the other dog. You throw treats at the dog when you're patting the subordinate dog. You don't throw treats at the dog when he's attacking the dog. You change his food bowls and take everything away from him. And then you become a triangle for 1 month. Splitting up. Dogs split other dogs to push them away, to guard things, or to avoid conflict from what they perceive as too rough play. You can use it effectively yourself, providing you're watching your dogs carefully. You must split at the earliest sign of conflict that you can see. It takes a great deal of practice to accomplish this and be successful, but it's well worth it in the long runs. When you split in between them, so they're saying that when the dogs are aggressing, you've got to get in between them on the dangerous end, you know, where the teeth are going and snarling, so you've got to split in between them. If they then move away from each other, be sure to reinforce both dogs for parting. And that's usually, if the two dogs are aggressing, you just slide straight in there between them, and as soon as they part, you start throwing them some Scooby snacks, and that should just about do it. This will help you be successful in avoiding problems in the future. Make sure you crate train both the dogs and use this to your benefit. Spend quality time with each dog alone, then when you do have both them out together, make sure that good things always happen around the other dog. If you don't have the time to pay attention to both them, then put them in crates. This will give them some good downtime to relax. Now we've got this lovely picture here on showing exactly how to get the dogs to separate. So the two dogs are aggressing, and it looks like this lady is just about, oh, she's put both her hands in both the dog's mouths. That's a very smart thing to do. So both dogs in the both hands in the dog's mouth. I don't know if she's given food or she's ramming her hands in their mouths to stop them. It looks like Lassie there is just about to bite her on the vag, and old foot rot flats behind. It looks like he's going for the back door. He's going to get on the sheriff's badge right at the crack of dawn. So there you go. The first thing on separating dogs, just waddle in between them, stick your genitals in front of the dog's face, hands in the dog's mouth, and you should be good to go. Great advice there. Okay, it's stressful, a bit more. It's stressful, even the best mix of two personalities. So be sure to give both dogs some quiet time. On average, it takes about 4 to 6 months to have complete harmony in the house. Now, I've been doing this for many years, and that generally takes about a day or a couple of sessions to be able to sort out rank structure. But they're saying to stop your two dogs from attacking each other, it takes 4 to 6 months before you have harmony. I think after 6 months, I think one of them will already be killed, and then you'll have harmony. Okay, sometimes you may get lucky and it only takes a few days, but that's not the norm. Okay, it is for me, but anyway. Keep each of your sessions with both dogs short, positive and successful. If one dog is very pushy towards the other one, be sure to split and reinforce both dogs. The pushy one for going over there and laying down, and the patient one for putting up with the pushy one. It's very important that you stay calm during all the introductions and future training sessions. I don't know how to. If you've got two dogs aggressing, anyone's going to panic. If you're stressed, what association do you think the two dogs will make? That's right, the dogs will get stressed because you're stressed. I think the dogs will be more stressed because they're trying to kill each other, and I don't think they can really give a toss about whether you're stressed or not. I don't think it's going to make too much difference. But anyway, if you're stressed, it's going to make the dog stressed. Even if you have a fight, It's vital that you remain calm. Most squabbles are not serious. You may see teeth flashing and hear some very scary noises. You may think they're really trying to kill each other. Now, if you're seeing teeth, you're hearing a lot of aggression, and you think the dog's trying to kill each other, it's probably because the dogs are trying to kill each other, and it's not your imagination. Don't be alarmed, be calm. This will be calm again. Watch them carefully. You'll most likely see that no contact is made, but in case they are trying to tear each other apart, and even if contact is made, most of the time they just leave spit and not punches. Okay, so we just got to sit there and look at them. The most important things to do are the following. Oh, again, remain calm. Yes, the hash cookies have kicked in just here. Don't yell or hit or say anything. So the two dogs are attacking each other. You remain calm, you're silent, you're not saying anything, and you're just absolutely quiet. Split between them if you can. So now you just slide straight in there, and the dog's going to probably grab you on the crown jewels when he redirects. Okay, the next one, this is a beauty. Run out of the room fast. The dogs will see you running away and will most likely follow you to see where you're going. Now you can imagine that, and what they think is going to happen is that the two dogs having a fight, you run out of the room really fast, the dog goes, oh, did you see that? My boss just ran out of the room. Do you mind if we take a break on this melee and pick this up later? Yes, let's see where she's going. She might have some Scooby snacks for us. So that's what the dog thinks. That's what they think will happen. Most arguments only last a few seconds, although it seems that they'll go forever. Yelling or hitting will incite them to aggress for longer periods of time and with more intensity. Now, I call absolute bullshit on that statement. Silence is the way to go until all is calm. Okay, then if you want to, you can then go to the bathroom. Yes, shut the door and scream all you like. Okay, so now we go to the bathroom and we throw a tantrum. Okay, the next time just be more cognizant of what they're doing so you can stop conflicts before they escalate. If you see their squabbles are increasing in duration and intensity, put both dogs in the crates and sit down and think. This is where it's all your fault. Have been punishing them for arguments. Your fault. Punishment includes yelling and screaming. Your fault. Haven't been giving them enough downtime to be alone. Your fault. Am I setting them up to fail by pushing them or forcing them to be pals? Your fault. Am I watching them carefully, stopping conflicts before they start? Your fault. And how do you stop a conflict if it hasn't started yet? Am I reinforcing all the pro-social and friendly behaviours? Your fault. Am I assuming that the original dog has to be top dog because he's been here longer, forcing the new dog to be in a role of subordinate? Your fault. And do the dogs view me as their own personal chew toy? Okay, right, all right, so they're going to chew you up. And are they guarding me creating fights? Again, it's your fault. So everything there is your fault. Okay, now here we go. This is a beauty. Be sure that you aren't the cause of their fights by contributing to their intensity. That's probably by yelling at that. If you really feel you need to break them up physically, okay, because standing there and watching them kill each other isn't enough, walk up slowly, okay? Walk up slowly, grab both legs, grab both dogs by the back legs. Grab both dogs by the back legs and pull them apart as gently and as calmly as you can. Are you serious? If you had two sausage dogs and I grabbed them both by the back legs and pulled them as far apart as I can, even at full stretch, they'll still be locked onto each other's throat. And it also puts your face right next to their faces there. What if you've got a pit bull and a Rottweiler going for it? You grab the pit bull's back legs, you grab the Rottweiler's back legs, and all of a sudden you're going to get a face bite because you put your face in between them. So that is just absolutely ridiculous and dangerous. Okay, and what do they say is going to happen? They will usually look back in surprise, and then you'll be able to redirect them to a safer place. Once the dogs are separated, everyone's calm, check them over for any punches. You can take care of most punches yourself, just clean the wounds, just like that. Check it over the next day or two and stop worrying. Even when dogs are playing, punches can happen, so there's no need to freak out. Most squabbles are harmless. If they do escalate, look to yourself and the management of your two dogs. So it is your fault again. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you do when you have a splitting up dogs there. You jump in between them, you stick your crutch in them, you get a crown jewel bite, you get a butt bite, you stick your head close to them, you grab them by the both legs, pull them back out, you run to the room and the bathroom and chuck a tanty, and that's just some of the things things on how to get bit by a dog.